Hi, everyone. Hi, willkommen. Hi, Omar. Ciao, Lorenzo Petrucci. So let's start a bit that the people come inside. Hi, Bruno. We start in 2 minutes. Bruno is already here. Ciao, Missa, Xbionic Sphere. Hola, Ismael from Spain. Agnes. Hey, Bernadette. Martelli. Luciano. So many people. Nice. Tanya. Aline. Fred Gerdin. Xbionic Athlete. Cool. Nice. Well, let's start. Let's start from the beginning. I'm Aitor, head of marketing communications from Xbionic, and from after Bruno, yes. From Xbionic, we came up to this initiative to do for you, all the followers, just a training, virtual training every day, or interview that is going to happen today to entertain you during this weird and strange time that we are all living. Nevertheless, with the hashtag #BeatCovid-19 together, to inform you, Xbionic is going to collaborate, donating the 10% of all your next socks orders, giving all this money to the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund to support the fight against the virus, which is really important. But let me put inside Bruno, and let's gonna start. So, Bruno. Nice, Bruno.
Hello. Thank you very much for inviting me for this X interview.
Yes, you're welcome. So, hope you have nice. Where are you now? In Porto?
Yes, I'm in Porto at the moment. It's really nice and sunny. Of course, we can feel the impact of this virus also here, but it's still luckily all under control and we're all following the rules, so it's all good. It's sunny, the weather started to get better, and so it's nice. I'm really good. How are you?
I'm fine. Well, here Switzerland also, following the rules as like the nice Swiss citizens. Just not going out, just stay at home as everyone, following the rules, following what everyone is saying, so all the government, so it's the most important right now. Also, nevertheless, to say to the audience, Xbionic since 2 weeks ago have sent all the people at home as the government.
Yes.
So we are just following also the rules and also taking care of the health of everyone on the team. And we came up to these kind of initiatives also and interviews, and that's why we are today here. Bruno,
Yes.
I have some points here just to introduce you a bit. I survived world champion long distance, ultra endurance champion, stand-up paddle city 11 tour champion in Bilbao last year for the World Stand-up Paddle Challenge, ISA World Championship in 2018.
Yes.
No end, not about the start, but yes, Bruno, just to from the beginning.
Yeah.
To start these interviews, explain to everyone who is Bruno Hasulyo.
Yeah, so I'm Bruno. I'm 25 years old, or 25-year-old young, as I would say. Age is just a number. I'm originally Hungarian, but I was lucky enough to grow up in many different countries. I grew up in Italy. I did all my studies, my schools there. And I grew up in a family of athletes. My dad used to be a professional soccer player. My mom used to be a professional marathon runner. So for me and my brother, Daniel, we were like almost raised as like not as athletes, but sport was always in our blood. But of course, at one stage we had to choose between studying and having a cultural education or high performance sport. And after my studies, I still had the passion for sport and everything, and that's where stand-up paddling came in. And in that period of my life when my career started, my family moved to New Zealand, and that's where all the magic started and began. Because as you probably know, New Zealand is really famous for all the water activities, and we were no exceptions. With the brand I used to ride before, the distributor just gave us a big help and helped us start our journey with my brother. And ever since then, I'm chasing this dream that I have ahead of me to become the most iconic stand-up paddler. And step by step, hopefully I can get there. And that's why I teamed up with you guys at Xbionic, because it's a technical sport. So in every technical sport, you want to be with the best team and the best evolving company around, because technology is evolving, we are evolving, so we need to keep the rhythm up. And Xbionic is just the perfect match for me.
Okay, let's come up from this hook after. Where you say where was born this passion? Was maybe New Zealand, as you said?
Well,
were you were really young, or when started?
No, actually, like at the beginning, it wasn't stand-up paddling. It was all about windsurfing and surfing normally. And that's where with my brother, we were always racing and competing against each other, but it all started from windsurfing actually, and not from stand-up paddling. But we saw that somehow being in an athletic family, windsurf was more as a fun, extreme, adrenaline, full field sport, and we wanted to focus a little bit more into the athletic part of water sport. And the story is really funny. Actually, one day there was no wind. We were in Mauritius, I believe in 2010 or something like that. And we were there for the summer windsurfing. And there was this day when there was no wind. And we were just sitting there with my brother on the beach, like looking at each other. And we saw these two people taking the board and a paddle and walk out. And we were like, wow, so you can do some activities even without the wind. And that's where all began, because my brother was looking at them and he was like, oh, can you imagine if we would paddle down the whole Danube, like passing 10 countries, 2,000 kilometers? And we looked at each other and we were like, maybe. But then actually that journey became reality, because in 2011, with my dad, we paddled down all across Europe on the Danube, and that's where really the passion started. Then, of course, I was still around 16 or something like that, so I had to finish my schools. And so it was more like a summer adventure, but we got hooked into the sport so much that as soon as we finished our studies, we moved to New Zealand, and we started focusing seriously on the sport.
Okay, good. Well, just between the lines, there are some people writing. I don't know if you can. Some of them are also putting some questions. There was Frank66. He's saying, I used your for do training.
Sorry, where is it? I'll try.
Anyway, just make your question. That maybe can come up and your questions. But then at a certain point, your first race came up from a paddle, and what was coming first, the performance or the victories? So,
well, a victory never comes easy and never comes first, in my opinion. So it's still a journey. It's still not always about winning. It's the journey together. And New Zealand was a really special place because you have events of stand-up paddling on the beach every single week. So it was a really ideal location to start our career and learn and have that curve of learning how to race, because you can go out paddling, you can enjoy the water, but racing, as in any other sport, you need tactics, you need performance, and you cannot really train for racing. You need to be in the race itself to get the feeling of that rush, that adrenaline that you get in your brain where you just like go for it. So of course it didn't start with winning. It was, I would say, probably 2 years when it's just hard work, training, going to events, going to local events, sometimes joining bigger events. And then, of course, slowly, the winning started to roll in, and that's what gives me the motivation. And it's super interesting. Now I'm a long-distance athlete, I would say. That's where I enjoy the most. But my first big win was in New Zealand at an event called Paddle for Hope. It was a charity event for breast cancer initiative, and it was a 200-meter sprint. And after many months of training, somehow I managed to win a sprint race. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, many people were actually really curious what happened. How is it possible that I'm training long distance? And it was just a really lucky day, but that win just skyrocketed me into believing in myself that I can do it. And after that, of course, I started to win smaller events, smaller tournaments. And then after that, when with my brother we sat down and we said, you know what, this could be our career. So then that was the moment when we moved to Thailand to work with one of the biggest board manufacturer, with Starboard. We moved there and worked there, and after that we started to get more involved into the international racing field. And even there, it was again not really straight winning, but it was almost a harder learning curve than what we had to face when we started our career, because when you go big international, the level of competition is really high, and of course, like, you need to respect the knowledge of the other people the other athletes who've been doing it longer. So also there, it was a learning curve.
Okay, before I jump on to the next question, there's some questions here. Have you ever done a downwind race?
Yes. So actually in SUP, we have many different categories, many different water conditions, as you know, and probably many of the followers are aware of. You can paddle in river, lakes, ocean, between islands. And downwinding, it's a really fun opportunity. It's not my favorite style of racing because personally I'm not really focusing on that aspect at the moment, but I really do enjoy downwinding because you're going with the wind, you're going with the current, so it's a little bit more like a surfing experience. But for racing, I personally prefer to stick on flat water, where the training, the discipline and the hours of training that I put in, they come out easier. But definitely, I had the chance to do a few of the big downwinders on Maui, in Australia. So yes, for the question, I really enjoy downwinding also.
Okay, very quickly,
Well, favorite place to... Oh, it cut off. Hello, are you there?
Yes, we are here.
Yeah. So my favorite place to paddle, that's a really hard question because I'm lucky enough to have traveled the world already, like from Asia, the US, Europe. I will go to Russia also, so I'm really excited. And realistically, I don't think I have a favorite place. My favorite place is when I can go out on the water. And now in this situation that we are facing, I think we are many with the same mentality that when we can be outside on the water, that's the favorite place, because we realize it now that we cannot really go out, how good it is to be out in the water. And for training, at the moment now it's in Porto. I really enjoy it because just here under my apartment, I can surf, I can downwind, I can train for my flat water events. So it's just a really ideal place. It's all good. So yeah, like favorite place, it's really hard. For me, I really enjoy being out in nature, and that's what all stand-up paddling is about, being out there on a river, a lake, an ocean, a little pond. I'm happy when I can be out in nature, so that will be my favorite place to be.
Okay, cool. I lost the fade a bit. So we were talking about training. We were talking about the dedication you have to put in to get into professional level. How many hours of training, Bruno, you be preparing for your competitions? Short, just say a number.
Average around 35 hours a week. And so that's it, averagely almost around 5 hours, but that's in special cases. For example, for the 11th city, that is 220 kilometers. For those 7 weeks when I'm preparing, it goes up to 8 hours a day. So that's what the dedication, and it's a lifestyle, And I'm lucky enough to have 2 professional trainers who have degrees from the University of Sport and Science and Physiotherapy. So it's not just coming out of my brain that I'm going out training. It's a really strictly followed plan. And without professional people around me, definitely I could not have achieved what I achieved and what I want to achieve. So I'm truly thankful for my trainers and coaches who are following my everyday life, because it's a big key part in my preparation.
That's cool. There's one story besides. Someone has told me, and I have seen something, that they are seeing you almost every day. Well, not now, you stay at home now. In normal during the day, you are just every day paddling on the Douro in Porto. Is that true?
Yes, I am.
There are some people saying, and there was a video I saw that I think you are crazy, man. It's true that you yourself behind the big boat from Douro and you surf with the sailing of the boat.
Yes. It's the longest wave of Porto. I can surf behind the boats for, I would say, almost more than a kilometer. So hands down, I believe that that's the longest wave that you can find all around. Of course, it's a little bit different than surfing a real wave, and it requires a lot of focus because the window of mistake is really small, because you make one movement wrong and you lose the wave, that small wave of like this big behind the boat that actually helps you go forward. But it's a little bit scary, but more than scary, you have to really focus to be not scared of this big boat coming next to you, because I'm literally like centimeters away from it. And when you
advertising of them, because the people is gonna see us, right?
People actually surf ski paddlers, because kayaking has a really big culture here in Porto. They are the one who told me that we are allowed to do this, because there are the rebelos, these traditional boats on the river, and most of the captains already know us. So they are kind of aware that we are surfing behind them, so they are really friendly. If we eventually fall behind, they will not cross and pass on us. They know that we are there, and they respect us. We respect also the boats. I will not go behind them if I see that right behind us there is another boat, because, of course, I like adrenaline. I need adrenaline, but I'm not that crazy.
That's cool. Fred Gerdin, I see Fred is writing here. We need to see picture of that. Well, Fred, if you go to the profile from Bruno, we'll put some video there, so you can really see it by yourself. One question. Talking about boards the whole time. Which kind of board are you using? Yes, not going to people have to understand it, but just basically, in fact, I want to understand which kind of board do you use.
Usually for racing, I'm using, and also for training, I'm using a 14-foot full carbon, really lightweight hollow construction race board. At the moment, it's a light corp model that I use for racing. For last year, I win many events, and at the moment, for now, it's my favorite board because it's the fastest, and I spent last year completely my whole season on that board. So I'm really one with the board, because as it's a technical sport, you really need to learn how to use your equipment. Of course, I have many different boards. I have smaller ones, bigger ones for different conditions. But for racing, it's always a 14-foot, usually around 22-inch wide or 22, depends how are the conditions. But for people who never seen stand-up paddle racing board. It's a mix between a surfboard and a kayak, a racing kayak, obviously. Because from the nose of the board has to really open the surface of the water for having a perfect glide. But on the second hand, we also have to surf with these equipments. So that's why it's a total new sport. It's a total new 11, 12 years old. And the racing part is also newer, but it's a big carbon hole, pretty much, that I'm standing on and gliding and using the pedal to go forward, but I also use the wind and the current on my favor when it's on my favor, because many times on the river I have to face some tough conditions.
And it's clear, more or less clear for everyone. Let's say hello to Coach Alex Lacalle. Hola. Project Tristan, your microphone is cutting. Well, I give my best. I give my best.
Yeah.
So you still hearing me well?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
So let's go again. Let's go again a bit backwards. Last year, for example, for instance, which races did you won or where?
Well, last year I had 2 or 3 really nice victories that I'm proud of. The biggest was definitely the Bilbao Sub Challenge here in Spain, in the Basque Country, in Bilbao, and that was one of the most competitive river race of last year, and I've been going back there year after year after year, and luckily last year I managed to sneak on top of the podium, so that was definitely the biggest win. Of course, I managed to defend my title at the Sub 11 City Tour, the 220 ultra endurance race, and achieving my first place podium there. And then I also won the Prague Pedal Fest, a new event on the tour that is growing bigger and bigger. It was a really nice event in the middle of Prague. Also, that one is in a river. So all these events that I won last year, the nose of the board and representing Hungary as a nation, adrenaline, feelings, comfort.
It is what it is.
Welcome.
It is what it is, Bruno.
It's okay.
New technology always felt so easy. So we are here again. We want just to go to the last battery of questions. Bruno, now the audience, they know approximately and have one idea who you are, what you do. A small challenge that I didn't tell you nothing. Well, as I informed before, with the coronavirus situation, every day Xbionic is going to release one X training or one X interview with some of athletes or relevant persons. And we will do a challenge to everyone of all of you, okay? This challenge is really easy, so don't be scared. It's going to be an easy challenge of 40 questions for time, okay? You have the gen of victory inside, and I'm sure that you want to win to the other colleagues. Let me take it back, because we will put it on time. Cool. Bruno, let me have a look on the questions. Here we are. Are you ready? Those questions came from a bit from everyone, a bit people that from yesterday to today, from the team. It's a fun way, okay?
Yeah.
So,
I'm ready.
Let's start it. 3, 2, 1. One city of Portugal.
Porto.
One city of the world.
Berlin.
Name of one Xbionic athlete.
Nico.
A holiday destination in the world.
Bali.
A mountain.
Mount Everest.
A lake.
Lake Balaton.
A country you want to visit.
Russia.
Beach or snow?
Beach.
Which is the best beach of the world?
Sanur, Bali.
Best place in Hungary?
Budapest.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Short or long distance races?
Really long ones.
Your best race?
Sub 11 City Tour.
Number of your World Cup wins?
One.
Other sport than stand-up paddle?
Running.
Strength or endurance training?
Endurance training.
Football or basketball?
Football.
Or energy accumulator or the
Sorry, I didn't get that.
or energy accumulator or the radiator?
Radiator.
Twice or effector?
Effector.
A Swiss athlete?
I didn't get that. It glitched.
One at Switzerland?
Wendy, the skier.
Cool. When you hold it. One athlete from another country?
Eliud Kipchoge.
One sports brand?
Xbionic.
Your favorite color?
Green.
Mom or dad?
Both.
Pet or children?
Pet.
Are you a dreamer or a real?
Sorry?
Are you a dreamer or a realist?
A dreamer.
Dog or cat? Which
Dog.
inspiration person?
Eliud Kipchoge.
Be Superman or wear or effector?
Be a Superman or wear an effector? Wear an effector. Definitely.
A drink?
Favorite drink? Coffee.
Car or bike?
Bike.
Your favorite food?
Pizza.
Sweetie or salty?
Sweetie. 100%.
Sneakers or high heels?
Sneakers. If I'm wearing them. If I'm wearing them. High heels for girls though.
I mean, really, I saw the questions like 10, 15 minutes ago. Recovering, don't blame myself. But it was funny. So you bet the time in 3:20. We will see at the end of all the interviews in 20 days.
Let's see.
But at last, but not least for all the audience, all the people is just great. At last but not least, we were talking about a special project that Xbionic and Bruno are together. From my side, I have to say the beginning were easy, and now it's on the track. But we were hiding it a bit because we wanted to have it on secret. It's something special. Let's develop something. Do you want to say it?
Yes, absolutely. I'm super happy to, I would say, announce it now that we are developing a SUP racing board and also a SUP fitness board later on. And from my side, what I can really say that we are working on a new racing board that is going to revolutionize the whole sport. I'm the one who is helping designing the design of it. And I'm putting all my knowledge from my 4 or 5 years of testing for one of the biggest sub companies on the world, trying different technologies last year with a new company. And now I'm putting all that knowledge together, working with Xbionic. And we want to create the best sub racing board that Earth ever seen. And we are right on track. It's going to be a little bit different than most of the other brands are doing because I want to represent, just as everyone in Xbionic, high quality. And that's something that it's missing at the moment from many brands. So it's going to be a full carbon racing board with a really new technology in construction that it's never been used before in the sub market. It's going to be a 14-foot board by 22 with a super stable shape, because of course I want to win events with it, but I also want to create a board that it's really user friendly and that everyone can enjoy, because it will not make sense to create a product that is good only for me. So I always have the aim of creating a board with Xbionic that is going to reach the market really soon. I believe we are going to launch 50 boards on pre-sale, or maybe 25. And if everything is right on track, as it is at the moment, in 2 months it's going to be available for pre-sale. You just have to go on the Xbionic webpage, look at the link, and I'm creating the board in these days. Even if it's a little bit chaotic, I'm still working on it, and it's going to happen, and it's going to be truly amazing. And last but not least, the name, it's the Xbionic BR1, the original full carbon sub racing board.
The name of the project is BR1, which is Bruno, and we are developing it together. Is that right? And more or less with the pre-sale order, we will do more or less 15 to 25 boards from the Carbon one are going to go out. But more information is going to be found in our website soon. For the moment, everyone who wants to have more information have to reach out us, so sportsmarketing@xbionic.com, and we will answer all the questions you might have. There was a lot of people also now writing, and for sure my mailbox after Bruno is going to be full because your fault, but that's nice, and that's where we do the.
Yes, and just to refresh for all the sub lovers, it's going to be a 14 by 22 full carbon construction, mix between hollow and standard construction, and I'm aiming to bring it around the 8 kilo, maybe even less. So it's going to be a game changer for sure.
Okay, there's some questions. How much will it cost? Well, we will say the cost and everything once it's released. As many kind of details. I think Bruno have shown now, said some of them. We will release all the details tomorrow, guys, if you can have a full picture from everything.
It's going to be a really good price, so that's a big point to make it available for everyone, because we want to share the love for the water, for the ocean, for the lakes. So it's going to be a really good product for every sub enthusiast, and even for new people who wants to enter the world of sub.
There's a question, Disruptex, do you produce more if you receive more orders? Well, that is going to happen as far as I know, as the normal bikes, custom bikes go. So one order come in, one comes out, and it's going to be made really in a quickly way. So we are working to make this project that everyone who wants the board, then this person will have it in as soon as possible. But well, all the details, everything is going to be released in the Xbionic page soon. We will have a special landing page for stand-up paddle. And well, also you should close. I mean, if you want to have more information about Bruno or all the products from Xbionic that we have told today, vector, compressor, all of technologies, visit our webpage, and exactly there you will see the athletes page where you can find Bruno. And Bruno, nothing more to say from your side, everything right?
Let's be strong and let's train in the house as much as we can. I'm going to be also personally do some in-house trainings. I'm planning to do a pretty funny one. Usually now everyone is doing push-ups and a lot of weight training. And as a long-distance endurance athlete, I believe in endurance trainings. So with my trainers, we are planning to do a live step session. So everyone is really welcome. You don't need much. You can use or a staircase if you have it in your house, a little box. It's going to be a really fun, good music, and a really hard workout as a step training. So
that's nice. As well as Bruno, we still doing one interview or one training. Tomorrow we will do a training with Miri. Stay tuned, and today we will release all the information for the workout of tomorrow and the next work every day or interview. So stay tuned. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And thanks everyone who followed this live session, this X interview, because it was really fun. And let us know down in the comments if you want to see more of these things, if you want to see eventually one more X interview, and just shoot the questions below and we will try to answer as many as we can.
Okay, there was some questions. Tomorrow, no. Tomorrow the training is gonna be, I think it's at 12 o'clock. But let me check information right now in our Instagram profile. Okay, the trainings on Saturday and Sunday are at 11, and the next week every training and every interview is gonna be at 17:30. So at 5:30 p.m. we are going to make the training or the more or less. But as I said, stay tuned. Might have changes. The people stay at home, but also have many. but anyway, we will give all the information. Let's see if there's some questions more. Thanks, guys. Stay healthy and safe. See you, Johan. Same to you. Tristan, wait. The training tomorrow at 11. We will release it. Maybe. Bye. Thank you to be here too. We have made. Okay, Bruno.
It was really nice chatting you over the phone and with the whole world around. So thank you for this cool interview.